How you doing, everyone? It's your boy Joe from Living to Learn. I'm just out here working on a lesson plan. I'm teaching a class or a clinic on nuts at the Outcraft event in Sweden. In a couple of weeks, you might have seen it advertised on my personal page and stuff. If any of the Swedish dude and dudettes are about the place, it'd be cool to see you and come down and say hello. It's going to be a good weekend's worth of events. But while I'm out here working on my lesson plan, I stumbled across a knot that I absolutely love, but one that I don't see come up too often. With the reduction system the journey that we're all on together with reductionism, and again, thank you. But I have my knots boiled down to roughly about 10 knots. I'm not a knot expert, but 10 knots is enough to get me by in the woods per se. And one of the knots that I use is a way of joining two different gauge pieces of cord together in an emergency situation. Sometimes you'll get out there and your ridge line might be too short, or you could have your ridge line open, you're tying out various things, and you might be down to just your scraps. I always keep my scraps of cord anyway, but you could be down to just your scraps, and this is a really easy, fast way of joining two bits of rope together to be strong. Because sometimes if you join rope together and you just use kind of a square knot or a false knot, when you put that down on the tension, they might pull apart, but they will definitely stretch. And if it's a false knot, depending on the tension, it could pull apart. And this one, of course, like everything that I look at when it comes to knots, is not the fiddliest, it's not the most dexterity, it's not super complicated. In fact, it's, if you're familiar with the bowline, like most bushcraft people would be, or outdoors people would be, it's like doing a bowline with two separate pieces of cord. So it's really simple. It's more of a pinch up and around affair. So I'm going to put these on my chest, and we'll turn the camera around, and hopefully, not videos can be difficult, so hopefully we'll get this done. Alright guys. So guys, we are back. We've got our ridge line here, which is just a little too short to get to our 3, or whatever reason it may be too short. And we got our scrap of bank line. Now, we want to join these two together. So we're going to use the sheep bend I was talking about. The first thing you want to do is curve up and pinch. This is a great knot for not wasting cordage. Already, if we're in a situation where we have to use this, we're probably running low on cordage. So this is going to be like a marriage between a bowline and a clove hitch. So similar to your bowline, once you've made your loop, you can come up through the bottom and go around the back. Sorry if I'm a little unclear here. So you go around the back, and what you do is come back through, like the clove hitch, you're coming back through your original loop. You're not going down through like on the bowline, and you get your sheep bend, which looks like that. And when you pull that together under tension, that is going to go absolutely nowhere. It acts like a clove hitch, and it's a great way of marrying two pieces of different gauge together. I won't tighten it down just yet. And we go one more time. So, up into a loop. Up, out the hole, around the back of the tree. And then what you're doing is coming through this piece here. Now there's 101 better videos on this, but this is just one to show you guys, maybe dip the interest. And that is your sheep bend. Pull the two together, and that will not come apart. Focus. No matter how hard you reef on it, unlike a square knot or a false knot, which will pull apart, a sheep bend won't go anywhere, and is easy enough to undo. One more time. Again, it's a kind of a very hard knot to demonstrate via camera. Pinch, and take your scrap through the bottom. Come around the back, and then through here. hold both ends and cinch. There you go, guys. A very simple, very quick way of joining two pieces of cord of different gauges together. I'll include some pictures of very fancy sheep bends in the post. Joe from Living to Learn, out.